You're very welcome along. Good afternoon and welcome to Banagher in County Offaly this afternoon. We're almost set to go for this Lidl Ladies National Football League Division 1 relegation playoff between Tipperary and Westmeath. Throw in here, as you can see, is approaching very, very quickly indeed. An important game for both of these teams. As we look at the Westmeath manager, Sean Finnegan, it's been a tough campaign for Westmeath thus far, but they'll be hopeful today of getting that all-important win to keep their status in Division 1. So here's how Westmeath line out today. They make one change from the side that played last week in that heavy defeat to Mayo in Mullingar, and that comes in the Westmeath starting 15, where Karen Hegarty starts at full forward in place of Lorraine Duncan this afternoon. That's the one change to the Westmeath team for today's match. As for Tipperary, well, they'll be hopeful too of retaining their Division 1 status. They've made a number of changes to the team that played last week against Dublin. They will be without Aisling Maloney today, who doesn't start through injury, but they've made a couple of late changes to the team that you can see on your graphic there. We'll give them to you. Laura Dillon wearing number 5, replaced by Clodagh Horgan wearing number 25, and in the centre of the park, Orla O'Dwyer wearing number 24 starts in place of Elaine Fitzpatrick. So they are the starting teams for today. Our match referee is Gus Chapman from Sligo, and he's just getting himself and the teams ready for today's game. Of course, both teams having experienced a difficult campaign so far. Tipperary losing out to Dublin, Waterford and Cork in their section, while Westmeath suffering losses throughout the course of their campaign so far to Mayo. As mentioned last week, they were also beaten by Galway in Salt Hill and Donegal in the opening round. These sides did play last year just before the lockdown in 2020. That game was a narrow enough win for Tipperary. 11 points to 1-6 it finished on that occasion, just before things ground to a halt for the pandemic. But they're back here today now, and both teams looking to get a little bit of a bounce before they head into their respective championship campaigns in the coming weeks and months, and retaining their Division 1 status would be a good boost for both counties ahead of what promises to be a busy summer on the ladies football front. It's been a very entertaining league campaign so far. Of course, the Division 1 semi-finals and across the other tiers as well taking place this weekend. In Division 1 later on today, Dublin against Mayo, and Cork also in action in the Division 1 semi-finals, as Gus Chapman sounds the whistle again, just to get us up and running here very shortly. Very pleasant afternoon in Banagher here in County Offaly. The pitch looks in marvellous condition as well, as do the other pitches that the teams warmed up on just before the start of this match, and everything is set up for what hopefully will be a very interesting encounter between these two sides. Both very capable of playing good, attacking, open and free-flowing football, and let's hope that the conditions today will lend themselves to that for today's match. We will have a round of Ian before the match gets underway, and some of the players just getting fluids on board as well. It is a very warm afternoon, and no surprise that players will be eager to get fluids on board throughout the course of the day, just to keep themselves hydrated, as Gus Chapman just calls the players in to get us up and running. And as I say, the Division 1 semi-finals later on today: Cork against Donegal, Dublin against Mayo. This is the Division 1 relegation playoff. The Division 2 semi-finals also on: Kerry against Monaghan and Cavan against Meath in Division 2, as those sides look to get up to Division 1 for next year. Tipperary will wear their traditional blue and yellow strip today, and Westmeath in their traditional maroon and white. Gus Chapman just eager to get the players in now and get us set for this relegation playoff. Both teams coming in off the back of 3 losses in their respective sections, so momentum not exactly on either team's side. But that is why a good positive start is so important here for both teams in this match, as they just get some final words of encouragement from their management teams and captains before we get started.
You are very welcome to St. Ryan the banner for our Westmeath Tipperary Senior LGFA playoff today. Now could we have your attention please for our Naveen.
As we pause for Ron Naveen. That's a run of it, getting us set to go now here at the St. Ryan's Club in Banagher here in Offaly. Teams making their way to the respective positions. Westmeath going to be playing from right to left in this opening half. And just to remind you of those changes, if you're just joining us on our live stream this afternoon on that Tipperary team, the one that was listed to start today, Laura Dillon at number 5, replaced by Clodagh Horgan wearing number 25, and in a midfield, Orla O'Dwyer, of course, who has AFL experience. And in place of Elaine Fitzpatrick in the centre of the park, she partners Anna Rose Kennedy, the captain of this Tipperary team, for this afternoon's match, and she's straight in there for the throw-in. Gus Chapman, as I say, our match referee, just making sure that everything is in order. Shortly after 1 o'clock, half one, the ball is in and the game is on. Whistle sounded straight away for a free for Tipperary, and they go on the attack immediately. Ball inside into the full forward line, and it's taken by Kathleen Kennedy. Shot sent in, well gathered by Laura McCormick in the Westmeath goal, and away come Westmeath now from their own full back line. Fiona Claffey gets a touch now with Vicky Carr, does well, and Claffey has gone for the return. Powering forward now here, good tackle from Orla Dwyer, wins it back at the centre of the field, and off she goes. The late inclusion in this Tipperary team will out carry that ball a long way up inside into the attacking area once more, Tipperary, and they've won themselves a free. Roisin Howard grounded on that occasion. Good work from Orla O'Dwyer to turn defence into attack. And the free is for Tipperary. They go short, and O'Dwyer is there for the return off Howard if she wants it. It's eventually going to fall the way of O'Dwyer. Now may be able to get a shot in from that tight angle. Not pleased with that connection. It's gone out to the left and wide. First wide of the game for Tipperary, but encouraging start, and ball back into play very quickly indeed. Expect a very fast-paced game today. Two teams that love to keep the ball in play and move forward at every occasion. Whistle has been sounded for a free. Here comes the ball forward now for Westmeath as they look to build the first attack here in Banagher in County Offaly. Here's the corner forward, Lucy McCartan, being marshalled by Clean O'Dwyer, wearing number 13, but back in a defensive position. Good long ball in, first time as Archibald tries to get a flick on that, does very well, and now a goal opportunity might present itself. Will that sneak in? It crops over the crossbar. Sarah Dillon does very well on that occasion. Fine score for Westmeath in the early stages here, and they hit the front. They lead by a point to no score. Sarah Dillon with a good point as we just wait for the ball to come back in. So Westmeath will be pleased with that start, coming in off the back of that heavy defeat to Mayo last week. 4-18 to 6 points it finished in favour of Mayo in Mullingar, as the kick out is taken and easily gathered by Emma Cronin. Has some space inside her own 45. And away come Tipperary. The full back has it. It's with Maria Curley. And now coming forward with Clean O'Dwyer does well. Good pace off the shoulder from Elaine Kelly. Needs an option here now to get it away. Fine support inside infield. And here come Tipperary now. Might get a shot off. It's going to open up a little bit here for Edith Carroll. One of 3 changes to the initial team that started last week. And they've won themselves a free, Tipperary. And this one now very, very kickable. For the wing forward, Angela McGuigan. Just outside that 21-metre line. They trail by a point to no score. But this one virtually straight in front of the post for the wing forward. Good strike on that one from McGuigan and up and over the crossbar. Back on level terms. A point apiece here. 3 minutes gone in this first half. Some work to do here for the cornerback. Emma Kelly does well with 2 Tipperary players coming in around possession, and Westmeath moving the ball forward now quickly through the hands from Fiona Claffey forward as far as Fiona Coyle. Archibald, the centre forward, does well. Dishes it across the field of play. Good play this from Westmeath, and popping up is Joanna Maher, who's in. And that one is sent in and sent over the bar. Fine score from Westmeath. Joanna Maher getting on the end of a fast-flowing move that started from deep. And that's an excellent point for Westmeath, and they lead by 2 points to 1 now. Very interesting opening to this one. Expect this to be a close match all the way through. That ball has just slipped through the arms of Maria Curley. In to sweep up is Emma Cronin, who does well for Tipperary and gets it forward as far as Elaine Kelly. Here they are now in possession with Clean O'Dwyer in field. Kelly does very well indeed to win that one with Claffey breathing down her neck. She's dished that one off as far as Edith Carroll. Back inside looking for Kelly. Good defensive work from Anna Jones on that occasion. And Westmeath with possession now inside their own half. They've won themselves a free with Lucy McCartan now. Kicked the very impressive in recent matches. Joanna Maher, good ball forward. Well gathered as well by Westmeath in that attacking position. It's with Ciara Blundell, and then the free actually goes the other way. Gus Chapman spotting an infringement, and Tipperary now with the ball inside their own 45. 2 points to 1 in favour of Westmeath. We've played almost 5 minutes of the opening half. Here's Caitlin Kennedy. Surging run forward, met by the challenge of Anna Jones, who does brilliantly well to win possession back. Now with Lorraine Duncan. Ball coughed up again by Westmeath though, and Tipperary have it back. Here they go on the attack. Charging forward, Edith Carroll. O'Dwyer has gone in support. Carroll plays it off as far as and gets the return too, and Carroll now with the shot. This one's just going to, well, it's actually going to hit the outside of the upright and bounce out for Tipperary's second wide of the match. Ball is kicked straight back out, but this has not gone to plan for Westmeath, and a goal opportunity might present itself here for Tipperary. Can they find the net from here? They've got the point. Really good work from Roisin Howard. Thought about the goal, sent in a powerful shot, but over the crossbar. 2 points apiece now. Can Westmeath make this kick out work? Well, they certainly have, because lurking in space is Tracy Dillon. Picked up a good area there away from a number of Tipperary players, and now it goes forward again for Westmeath. Maher, great exchange with the wing back Fiona Coyle, tearing into space. Then O'Dwyer commits the foul. Free for Tipperary, or free for Westmeath. Foul committed by Tipperary and Orla O'Dwyer. Joanna Maher with this free now, probably not within range. Gus Chapman's going to bring this one up, and now it's within range. So indiscipline for Tipperary on that occasion. And now this was a very kickable one for Westmeath, and Anna Jones, who's come across to take it. Putting this one down on the turf. As we say, the pitch condition here in Banagher absolutely superb, and lots of space on this pitch too for both teams and both sets of forwards. So expect scores today, as that one is struck brilliantly by Anna Jones and straight over the bar. 3 points to 2 now in favour of Westmeath. Still inside the opening 8 minutes as the kick out is taken quickly again. Elaine Kelly has come short to get on possession. Maher applying the pressure high up the field, does well. Kelly comes in field, and then it looked for a moment that Tipperary might have lost that ball. Instead, it's a free for Tipperary inside their own 45. Kelly standing on it, goes down the line, and Maria Curley unable to keep that one in. Line ball for Westmeath. Fiona Coyle with ball in hand plays it infield as far as Lucy McCartan. Thought about going infield, instead goes the direct route herself. Then long ball inside. Now what can they make of this one, Westmeath? Well, there's space for Sarah Dillon on the far side of the park to get a shot away here. Very acute angle. She struck it well, but it's gone to the right and wide. Westmeath's first wide of this match, but they do lead by 3 points to 2. Kick out for Tipperary now. Space is on this right hand side in front of us from our commentary position. Chasing over into it is Caitlin Kennedy, carrying the ball a long way. Now is met by a couple of challenges. Vicky Carr, one of them. Infield for Clean O'Dwyer. Goes forward, plays it off as far as Roisin Howard now. Runners to the left. One of them is O'Dwyer, who's going to get a shot away here. O'Dwyer with the left boot. Rifles it over the crossbar. Good score from Tipperary. Moved the ball forward well. There was options for Roisin Howard, and eventually it ends up with a point for Orla O'Dwyer. 3 points apiece now. Nothing much to choose between the teams so far. Great turn from Joanna Maher, and now she's in space. Acres in front of Joanna Maher, approaching from this left hand side, looking for a ball infield. Archibald made a really intelligent run. This is brilliant play from Westmeath. Can they finish it off with a score? They've been met by a couple of challenges over there. Archibald again, the centre forward, is going to send in a shot. It won't have the required distance. And Tipperary survive with superb build-up play from Westmeath. They moved the ball brilliantly, starting with that great turn from Joanna Maher down in front of us. But here come Tipperary now. Relentless pace to this one in the early stages. Good run here from Annie Delaney, taking it forward. And now it's going to end up with Tipperary just outside that 21 metre line. O'Dwyer has kicked a point already. She's going to take on a shot here again. This one though has gone to the left and wide, a third wide of the opening half for Tipperary. Transitioning the ball very well indeed from defence to attack on that occasion. Here are Westmeath on this left hand side now. Good work from Tara Fagan to win the free for her team. And away they come once again. Foot pass is used this time to get it forward a little bit more quickly. Lucy McCartan out in front, being challenged and harassed by Clean O'Dwyer, has done well in these early stages. That's been an interesting matchup. It's the Westmeath number 13 McCartan though who comes away with possession. Ava Fennessy does well with the challenge, and then ball forward. Good defending from Lucy Spillane, who's out in front to win it for Tipperary, and now can bring this one forward. Hit by a challenge in the middle of the park. Play continues. Gus Chapman happy enough with what he's seen in front of him. Then he awards the free with Roisin Howard upended 55 metres from that Westmeath goal.
Vicky, you have to chase that runner, Vicky. Number 8. Have to chase
Back for Tipperary now, and their full back Maria Curley coming forward. Allowed carry this ball a long way. Now we'll look for a pass off. They've got the advantage here. Gus Chapman has the arm of the air. Good pass from O'Dwyer out to the left. Well, the advantage had actually been played out by the time they'd lost possession, and that allows Westmeath to come away with it. They've got space here to Westmeath because Tipperary don't have any extra bodies back. Well collected under pressure by Lorraine Duncan. Duncan now, it's opening up for Duncan, and she's going to carry this one all the way down the heart of the Tipperary defence. Then goes with the pass off. No free, says Gus Chapman, but out on the loop is the corner forward Sarah Dillon. Eventually the free is awarded. Good block down in the attempt by Dillon, but it's all in vain because the free in will go the way of Westmeath, and it's going to be Leona Archibald to take this one just outside that large square. And it really opened up there for Lorraine Duncan, who carried the ball brilliantly through the centre of the Tip defence, and Archibald applies the finish to the free. 4 points to 3. The score now in favour of Westmeath. Just 12 minutes gone now of this first half. It's been very cagey so far as Maria Curley goes across to gather this one under no real pressure. Out there along the far sideline now with Anna Rose Kennedy. Plays it off, well won by Tip, and they can keep themselves moving forward here. Ball infield will find Clodagh Horgan. And then Westmeath almost won it back, but O'Dwyer's in there to keep a hold of it for Tip. Then the ball forward, looking for the wing forward, Angela McGuigan, over her head and gathered by Westmeath down in that right corner back position. Forward to Vicky Carr, who does well to win that one. And now Westmeath come away with it again, moving the ball very well indeed through the hands. Now they'll go with the foot pass into space for Archibald, who's out in front. It's opening up for Westmeath here again. They're playing great football so far. That's a fine ball out to the right hand side where Dillon has got it again, being marshalled by Maria Curley, happy enough to stand off out there and allow her some space to bring it in. Now in field to Mara, who's going to swing the right boot at this one. She likes the look of that one, and why not, because that's gone over the bar. Fine score from Joanna Marr. That opens up a little bit of daylight now between the teams. 5 points to 3 rather, in favour of Westmeath. Still inside the opening quarter here, but when they do move that ball quickly, Westmeath look very, very impressive indeed, and probably good value for that 2 point lead so far. Remember, Tip without the services of Aisling Maloney, who's down there injured today, not involved in the team, but Orla Dwyer is back in the starting team as this ball goes forward for Tip, to be gathered by Angela McGuigan. Does well coming in field, but Westmeath flooding bodies back in there, just into a defensive position here. Lots of maroon jerseys in there, and they've snuffed out another attack. It's going to be picked up by Tracy Dillon, who intervenes, and now looking for an option coming out. Tip trying to push up. Good work from the full forward Roisin Howard, but they commit the foul and trying to win possession back. Across the field of play now as Westmeath come out over that 45 metre line. Duncan was out in front to win that one, but just escapes her clutches, and then the Tipperary wing back, Elaine Kelly, fails to control it, and that allows Westmeath to play it forward once again. The foot pass is used to good effect. Archibald is looking for a ball in over the top. This could work out very well indeed. Goal chance for Westmeath. Brilliant save by Lauren Fitzpatrick. It was the number 18 Ciara Blundell lurking inside. Wonderful pass in from the centre half forward Leona Archibald. Fine move, but good save from Lauren Fitzpatrick. And now Vicky Carr back to sweep it up for Westmeath. Really high tempo to this match so far. It's been thoroughly entertaining from a neutral's point of view as the ball goes forward for Westmeath once again in search of that score. Fiona Coyle infield, loses possession. Archibald again changes the attack, and now across to this side where Mara will come out to swing the boot at this one. This one's, well, not even going to go wide. Bounces in on the goal mouth and well gathered by Lauren Fitzpatrick. And that just allows Tip get their hands back on possession after Westmeath threatened to score the opening goal of the match. They've got the advantage here, Tip, as well, with their centre half forward Edith Carroll. Plays it downfield now in search of the run of Angela McGuigan. McGuigan wins the free, but Westmeath with a couple of bodies just lurking back inside their own 45, and it's worked to really good effect so far, just closing up that middle channel. No surprise perhaps after the scores they've conceded in the last couple of matches. 6-13 against Galway, 4-18 against Mayo. As Tip come forward again, they've managed to prize an opening here, and this is good work, but the eventual effort from Caitlin Kennedy is to the left and wide. 4 wides now for Tipperary. We're still inside the opening quarter. Indeed, the water break whistle has been sounded by Gus Chapman. What an entertaining opening we've had to this match here in Banagher in County Offaly, the Little Ladies National Football League Division 1 relegation playoff. Westmeath just shading it by 5 points to 3. Some good scores in there as well from Westmeath. Sarah Dillon opening the scoring. Joanna Marr has kicked 2 points for Westmeath. Leonie Archibald and Anna Jones also on target. As for the other end, well, Tip have kicked 4 wides, but good scores from Roisin Howard, Orla Dwyer and Angela McGuigan, giving them their 3 point tally. And all told, not a whole lot to pick between the teams so far. Of course, there is the interesting subplot as well of the Declan Carr and Tom Carr connection. Tommy Carr involved with Westmeath in the background, and his brother Declan over the Tipperary women's footballers, just dishing out some advice to the players as they get some fluids on board ahead of the second quarter of this match. Looks like Tip may be primed to introduce a couple of substitutes. Some have just got up off the bench there to warm up, so we'll keep an eye on that, as Gus Chapman just letting the players know that the water break time has elapsed here. There is going to be one substitution, and that's going to be Laura Dillon, who was listed to start here, but she's in wearing number 5. So we'll have confirmation of that change for you in a few minutes when we get confirmation of it, just to identify the player that has been withdrawn. And Laura Dillon is in as we resume with the kick out. Westmeath retaining possession. Now caught in some bother was Niamh Spellman, manages to get away from the challenges there, and Vicky Carr now bringing it forward. Here's Lucy McCart, again goes with the foot pass. This time Tip have an extra body back there. Good work from Dillon. Just introduced, first touches to win possession back. She'll get another touch here into the middle of the field, and a free for Tip. Gus Chapman just noting down that infringement. Free kick is taken to be competed for, and well done by Anya Delaney. Gets out in front and manages to divert it back as far as Laura Dillon, who takes it forward. Low ball down in front, asking a lot of the attacker, but Roisin Howard does very well indeed. Turns and goes. She's been fouled. She has. It's a free in for Tipperary. Pretty right on the limit here of the kicking distance. No wind to speak of here at all in Banagher today. Very dead conditions, and the ball in the hand of Angela McGuigan. Looking for a short option here. Finds one too. Oh, just thinking about maybe what she might do with it next was Ava Fennessy. Had the run of Roisin Howard off the shoulder, but the ball slips away, and Westmeath come away with it. It's been pulled back by the referee to where the free should be taken from, back on that 21 metre line for Westmeath. And they're going to let their goalkeeper Lauren McCormack come out and take it. So 5 points to 3 in favour of Westmeath midway through this opening half, as they again transfer the ball very well indeed. And Vicky Carr now coming forward. O'Dwyer trying to get a challenge in. The hand pass towards Ciara Blundell asks a lot of the forward. Blundell does well and wins a free, to be taken by Leona Archibald, who's come into proceedings in the last 10 or 12 minutes, and this time plays the ball forward again, well controlled under pressure by Lucy McCart, and then turns and plays it in as far as Blundell, who's picked up some very good positions in this first half, and she's won the free in as well for Westmeath. Gus Chapman spotting the foul, flashes the book as well at the, looks like the goalkeeper Lauren Fitzpatrick, and the free in will be for Leona Archibald. Has kicked one already, and surely this is another one to chalk down for Westmeath, as that one is stroked over the bar. They've kicked the last 3 points in this match, Westmeath. Archibald has kicked 2 of them from almost identical positions from 13-yard frees. They move to 6 points. Double scores now, 6 points to 3 in favour of the Leinster County. Down the field from Tipperary again, just spills away from Elaine Kelly, and Archibald has got it again. Ball in over the top. Goal opportunity might be on here for Westmeath. They'll settle for the point. It's the corner forward who's come on to possession, Lucy McCartan. 4 on the spin for Westmeath. They're making a decisive move here now in the lead up to half time. Tipperary just need a score now to regain the momentum. Can they keep possession from their own kick out? Goes forward to Laura Dillon. Inside to the cornerback Emma Cronin, does well and dishes it out as far as Anna Rose Kennedy. Has Fiona Claffey for company. Claffey does very well indeed and wins possession back for Westmeath, then is fouled by Anya Delaney, and Gus Chapman has the notebook out, indicating that that one was a high challenge. So what will the decision be here? Well, Delaney, the corner forward, came out to try and win possession back, but it's a yellow card. So a blow to Tipperary. Delaney into the sin bin for 10 minutes. So Westmeath at a numerical advantage on the scoreboard, and now at a numerical advantage on the field in terms of players as well. O'Dwyer has given away the free in the middle. Claffey goes forward with it. Archibald out in front and spins away from a couple of challenges. Threads the ball down to this left-hand side with Sarah Dillon now trying to get away from the clutches of the Tipperary defender. Archibald again goes with the foot pass across the field of play. Well anticipated though by Tipperary. Ava Fennessy back in a defensive position, and that allows them to turn defence into attack with Anna Rose Kennedy off to Fennessy again, who got this move started. Going down that central channel, Roisin Howard comes on the loop, tries to get forward, has the advantage here and settles for the free. Again, probably outside of kicking range here. Right on the limit, you would feel. About 41, 42 metres here for Tipperary. But it is a warm afternoon. The ball is travelling. Shot is sent in. This one just drops on the edge of that small square. And Westmeath with some defending to do, not overly convincing initially. And, well, the whistle is sounded. And it looks like Gus Chapman's going to throw this ball in. So the danger not clear just yet for Westmeath. Leading by 7 points to 3. Approaching half-time now here in Banagher. In for the throw ball. Two of the midfielders, Tracy Dillon and Anna Rose Kennedy. As they compete for this one now, Tipperary will look to win it and get a score, but Westmeath have done very well indeed to get it away. And now Vicky Carr down the field. Good hands from Joanna Marr. She's been out in front to win possession. Again goes with the long ball in. This time though, Tipperary look to have rejigged things back there with an extra body. That extra body is Laura Dillon, just sitting in front of the full back line, and she was there to pick up possession on that occasion. And away come Tipperary again into the middle. O'Dwyer met by a couple of challenges. Roisin Howard is a long way out the field, gets on possession and plays it across to O'Dwyer again. Westmeath getting bodies in behind the ball, and that's exactly what they want to do. Sweep up possession as it's pumped in, and they've done just that. Now trying to move it forward, but they've returned the favour by kicking it straight to Caitlin Kennedy.
I need the sit.
And now Tipperary along that far side of the field with Ava Fennessy looking to round the challenge. She's got the advantage here, plays it in field if they can get the hand pass off. There was a run off the shoulder there from, well, it'll eventually come to Anna Rose Kennedy. Westmeath's defence has been very good indeed in this first half so far. Here's Howard again, looking to get around a challenge or two, but just being met by maroon jerseys everywhere she goes. And then Westmeath win it back. They've been brilliant in a defensive sense in this first half. Looks very, very hard to break down, and now they look to pounce at the other end. Good turn and good dish off from Duncan as far as Archibald moves the ball quickly with the foot down into this left hand corner where it's picked up by McCartan, then outside to Dillon. This would be a fine score. What a wonderful score that is from Westmeath. The finish applied by Sarah Dillon. Well, they won the ball back brilliantly at one end, moved the ball quickly up to the other, and Sarah Dillon is there to apply the finish. They move 5 points in front, 8 points to 3, and they've kicked the last 5 on the bounce. Westmeath. Tipperary are going to make another change here. Roisin Daly is in, wearing number 26 in place of the number 25 Clodagh Horgan. So Declan Carr running the bench here in the early stages. But it's very much now Westmeath in the ascendancy. Tip will want a couple of scores before half time. Just over 4 minutes left to go before the break as they come out with possession. Tipperary. Laura Dillon turned back towards her own goal by Lorraine Duncan. Now Tip with a foray forward with Lucy Spillane off to the full back Maria Curley. Look at that tackling for Westmeath. They're chasing everything down with everything they've got in this first half. Here's a first touch for the substitute Roisin Daly into the middle of the field. Goes off to the midfielder O'Dwyer. Cuts in field now, has support off the shoulder with Ava Fennessy. Goes through a couple of challenges, good from the wing forward, and a shot sent in, but it's out to the left and wide. A fifth wide now of the first half for Tipperary. So they are creating the chances, just the accuracy has been a little bit off in this first 30 minutes. Ball forward. Westmeath gather with Ciara Blundell, does well and looks to get away from the challenge of Emma Cronin. Still has possession. Comes back to field, useful looking ball to Vicky Carr, who can attack from deep here now, in over that 45 metre line. Goes for the return here as well. Great play from Carr. Can she apply the finish? No is the answer. That's gone to the left and wide. Just a second wide though for Westmeath. But they're using the ball well, defending well. and they've only kicked 2 wides in this first half, so you would think Sean Finnegan quite a happy man watching on so far, but the result is all important here today. Tipperary almost getting caught with that kick out, but Laura Dillon is there to gain control of the situation for Tip. They've got support now coming forward with Maria Curley. Here she is, gets the ball in the middle of the field now, looking up for a long foot pass in, but not a whole lot on from a Tip point of view. That's why they go short, where Anna Rose Kennedy will look to continue the forward momentum. She's fouled. Not a whole lot of blue and yellow jerseys in front of the Tip players here taking this free kick. And Westmeath looking solid defensively, but now it might present an opportunity for Tipperary. This time it's gone though to the right and wide. Eventually the wide is signalled by the umpire. Roisin Daly taking the shot on that occasion. Here come Westmeath again. Get out of a tight situation as far as Vicky Carr. Across now to the wing back Tara Fagan. Thought about the first time ball forward, eventually goes with the foot now down to that right hand corner. Ball for Lucy McCartan to try and control, but instead it'll fall the way of Lucy Spillane. Does well to gather it up down there in that left corner back position. Forward to Caitlin Kennedy, but Tipperary in desperate need of a score here. Perhaps they can find it now because they've got some space in front. Outnumbered by maroon jerseys back there, but they have possession, Tipperary. Fennessy does well, plays it in field to the wing forward McGuigan, and then they just almost lost possession. Just tried to be too cute almost about it there. 40 metres from goal. McGuigan again with the ball down to this right hand corner. One for Roisin Howard to chase. Gets control of it and now needs support. Back around to Fennessy. Good ball inside, and now another chance for Roisin Daly, but it's gone to the right and wide. 7 wides now. The wides just racking up for Tip in this first half. Gus Chapman just having a word with the Westmeath cornerback Emma Kelly. And we'll restart again with the kick out. But Westmeath 5 points without response, and they lead by 8 points to 3. This all-important Division 1 relegation playoff. Good play from the midfielder Tracy Dillon, off to Maher, and now Archibald again goes with the foot pass. Duncan readjusts to get control of it. Now Vicky Carr is off the shoulder. Again, wonderful build-up play from Westmeath. Now they need to try and find the finishing touch, and the shot is connected with well, and there's a fist pump from Sarah Dillon, and why not, because she's just kicked her 3rd point of the afternoon. She's kicked Westmeath's 9th. They lead by 9 points to 3 now here in Banagher, and it really has been a superb opening half display from Westmeath as we enter the very closing stages here of the first half. Remember, they are a player down. Anya Delaney in the sin bin at the moment for Tipperary. Now Gus Chapman goes in with the book open again. No card on this occasion, but the foul was on Lucy Spillane, so the free will be for Tipperary. As they go with this free, goes short. Tipperary back to Spillane again. Now forward to the substitute Laura Dillon, who's been very involved since being introduced. She's being pursued by 2 Westmeath players. Their tackling has been ferocious in this first half, but Tip now surging forward with a bit of purpose. This time tearing forward is the centre half back Caitlin Kennedy. Does well. O'Dwyer tries to move it quickly, but again Westmeath are equal to the Tipperary attack, and now Westmeath, can they attack at the other end? They've got bodies flooding forward left, right and centre. Player in possession is the wing forward Anna Jones, and gets it forward now to Duncan, who has the shot, and Duncan has put it between the posts. Well, Westmeath with another point, and it's Lorraine Duncan this time with the score. 10 points to 3 now the lead. They've kicked 7 points without response, Westmeath. It's been a really impressive second quarter. They were impressive in the first 2 when they led by 5 to 3, but really since that water break they've taken over completely here. Anya Delaney in the sin bin, remember, for Tipperary, as the half-time whistle sounds, and at half-time We can just hear a shout of brilliant from one of the Westmeath mentors down to our left-hand side, and why not? Because it's Westmeath firmly in the ascendancy here in Banner at half-time in this Division 1 relegation playoff. They lead by 10 points to 3. 3 of those points in the first half coming from the boot of Sarah Dillon. Work to do for Tipperary and Declan Carr at half-time. We'll be back for full second half coverage here very shortly indeed. But at half-time, it's Westmeath leading Tipperary by 10 points to 3. Now you're very welcome back to Banner here in County Offaly. Second half just underway between Westmeath and Tipperary. Still Westmeath leading by 10 points to 3. Just the first wide sent in by Tip, but here they come again in search of the first score of this second half. Orlo Dwyer's on the possession, getting involved early on. Howard, now the full forward, will look to get this one off the right boot, but again it goes to the left and wide. Already 2 wides for Tipperary in the second half, added to the 7 they kicked in the opening period. And Westmeath now looking to retain possession from their own kick out. It's with the wing forward Anna Jones back inside her own defence, does well, and Westmeath get it away and out of defence now with Tracy Dillon. So impressive in that first half, Westmeath, and they'll look to continue in a similar vein of form in this second half. Lorraine Duncan does well to sweep up the loose ball off the floor, plays it across to this right hand side, and it's gone for the return as well off Lucy McCartan. Instead McCartan plays it down that line to Blundell, who does well to get it in field, and Blundell on the shot again with the chance. Well, it's gone to the left and wide. Well, possibly a couple of opportunities there. Could have carried the ball a little bit further, had support in Leona Archibald to the left as well. The end result though is a wide for Westmeath, just their third of the match though, and they lead by 10 points to 3 in this crucial match, the winner retaining their status in Division 1 of the Little Ladies National Football League. So important of course to stay in the top tier for both of these counties, so it's all on the line and all to play for here in the second half. We'll bring it all to you here on our live stream as Laura Dillon looking for some options here from the free kick, eventually finds one in Elaine Kelly. Remember, Onya Delaney was in the sin bin in the opening half for Tipperary, as the ball now in the possession of Dillon again in an advanced position. She's been fouled as she played that one off as far as Anna Rose Kennedy. Kennedy going forward, finds the pass to one of the substitutes introduced in that first half. That's Roisin Daly, but that shot has gone to the left and wide. Kick out for Laura McCormick. Down the field, centre of the field, and therefore the corner forward Lucy McCartan gets there at the second time of asking, now with Fiona Claffey, dishes it off forward to Vicky Carr. Impressive in the opening half, Vicky Carr coming across the field of play now into the hands of Lorraine Duncan, being marshalled by the midfielder Elaine Fitzpatrick. Was listed to start, didn't start this match, but she's in now. Here's Tracy Dillon. Dillon is fouled going forward, and a free for Westmeath. Central position, quite a distance out though, just inside that 45-metre line. Nona Archibald standing on it, kicked 2 points from close in frees in the opening half, but we'll have to go short here. Goes as far as Duncan, back on to Archibald again, who low ball inside now, looking for a player up there. Now Archibald pops up again, shot though doesn't have the necessary distance and is gathered well by Lauren Fitzpatrick in the tip goal. Here they come again, needing a score pretty quickly here, Tipperary, because the clock will come against them as things continue in this second half. We've already played 4 minutes of the half as they go forward now into an attacking position with Ava Fennessy. Cuts inside, a couple of challenges, then is met by a couple of Westmeath jerseys, 4 and all around there in the general vicinity, and one of them is Vicky Carr, who plays it forward. Joanna Maher had a fine outing in that first half, kicked 2 points, and she's been fouled here, and that allows Westmeath just to get themselves up the field. They've managed this game brilliantly, have Sean Finnegan's side, and he's patrolling the sideline down there. Pretty pleased with what he's seen thus far. Ball forward, but this one's going to be gathered by Maria Curley. Gets it away to a couple of teammates rushing from deep, and now it finds its way into the arms of Anna Rose Kennedy. She's got support from Elaine Fitzpatrick in the middle. Cuts inside, a couple of challenges, better from Tipperary. Here's O'Dwyer, 1 point in the first half. Here's another chance for O'Dwyer. This time it has the proper accuracy and distance. Good score from O'Dwyer and Tip. They close the gap to 6. 10 points to 4 now in favour of Westmeath. We've played 5 minutes almost of the second half in Banagher. The tension, the atmosphere, with a couple crowds allowed in, back in 100 people in here today, ratcheting up now in the second half. The noise levels down in front of us as the ball spills in the middle. Lorraine Duncan does well to tidy it up, and surging forward now Maria Curley, doing well to get a hand in, just turning her away from goal, but Duncan dishes it off now as far as the player wearing number 18, that's Ciara Blundell. Then the shot sent in, it's gone however to the left and wide. That's a second wide of the second half. 4-all now for Westmeath. Just the 1 point so far in the second half. It's gone the way of Tipperary and Orlo Dwyer's second point of the match. Tip playing with a bit more purpose now in this second half, and why wouldn't they? Trailing by 7 points at the break. Long ball forward to Roisin Howard. Did well in the first half, just needs to provide the end product here. Now coming in off the left hand side, does well, has support inside. This might open up now for Fennessy. Well, it might open up for a goal opportunity in fact for Tipperary. Instead O'Dwyer checks back out around, and O'Dwyer with another score. Well, she's back in the starting team, Orlo Dwyer, and doing her stuff in the centre of the park. 3 points now for her. Her second of the second half, both coming from play. And Tip now closing the gap again. 10 points to 5 in favour of Westmeath. And now they're the side looking for a score here just to regain some of the momentum and stop this surge from Tipperary. Lorraine Duncan has had a fine outing so far today. She's been fouled as she went forward by Roisin Daly. Free in for Westmeath. It's in the hands of Leona Archibald, the centre half forward. Vicky Carr has made a good run from deep here and will get on possession. Good work from Westmeath, just retaining the ball. Now with Sarah Dillon. Archibald again has really played that playmaker role brilliantly in this match. Then Maria Curley's fouled. Good defending as well from Emma Cronin there to get the initial hand in on Ciara Blundell. And now away come Tipperary, with a little bit more of a pep in their step now after those O'Dwyer scores. O'Dwyer looks to have picked up a position higher up the field as well. Well won in the middle by Vicky Carr. Went in full-blooded there and came away with possession. Now it's with Westmeath again, and Archibald out in front once more, looking to set up another attack. Lorraine Duncan is in acres of space on the far side of the park. Well, the free has actually gone in the direction of Tipperary. And then there's a little bit of afters as well. Gus Chapman has signalled to bring this one forward, and that'll boost their cause too. Caitlin Kennedy brings it forward. No doubt about it, Tipperary are back in form here. There's a big collision then involving Anna Rose Kennedy and the corner back for Westmeath, Nia Spellman, and it's going to be a free for Westmeath when things resume here. The intensity has picked up a couple of notches, no doubt about that. As the finish line comes into sight here in Banagher and County Offaly, it's Westmeath leading Tipperary by 10 points to 5. 2 scores so far in this second half, and they've both gone the way of Tip. Orlo Dwyer on target twice. Niamh Spellman's okay to continue, and Westmeath played the free up the line, but was asking a lot of Joanna Maher. The pass forward from Emma Kelly, and out for a Tip line ball. Momentum certainly with the Munster County here at the moment. Here comes the corner back, Lucy Spillane. Orlo Dwyer met by a challenge from Duncan. Dwyer goes forward again. Lots of maroon jerseys back there, but Roisin Howard is burring her way through a couple of them, and now it's going to present itself for another chance for O'Dwyer. She's popped up again for a shot, and O'Dwyer kicks the score. 3 on the bounce for Orlo Dwyer and Tipperary, and they're back now to within 4 points. 6 points for Tip. Westmeath still out in front of 10, but they haven't scored since half time. There's a change coming in on the Tipperary side of things. The number 20, that's Carrie Davey, in place of the wing back Elaine Kelly. So that's the change on the Tipperary team. As the kick out now from Westmeath, under some pressure here in Banagher. They could do it a score pretty quickly, Westmeath, just to stop this Tipperary momentum. Coming forward with possession again, Duncan does brilliantly in the middle to win that ball. Looked like it might have slipped away from Westmeath. Continuing her own forward is Fiona Coyle. Back to Duncan again, gets through a couple of challenges. There's a goal opportunity on here. Brilliant intervention though from the full back Maria Curley to snuff out the danger. If that ball had the required distance through, Westmeath were clean through on goal. But Tipperary survive. Cracking second half here so far, and here come Tip again with Edith Carroll hugging that right hand touchline. Plays it off to another member of that half forward line, Angela McGuigan. Looks to play it in field, but swept up by Westmeath, the loose ball. Fiona Claffey does well, and forward now to Duncan once more, met by the challenge of Anna Rose Kennedy. Now Westmeath, Sarah Dillon kicked 3 points in that first half. She'd love to add to that tally in the second. Nice ball forward again from Archibald into the path of Ciara Blundell. Blundell now will try to find the score here. They've got the advantage. Still the opportunity for Westmeath. That would be an important score, and it is an important score. Lucy McCartan pops up on the end of the move. Good work from Blundell in the build-up. Their first point of this second half, and a badly needed one too. 11 points to 6 now, the advantage for Westmeath as we tick past the 10th minute mark in this first half. Second half rather, the first quarter or first half of the second half. We'll have the water break, remember. But the pace staying high here, and that ball has gone the other direction. Gus Chapman sounding for a free for Westmeath. So a chance for them to add to that score. They've got a substitute down there ready to come in. Tipperary. Niamh Hayes is ready to come in when the break in play arrives. Back out around to Sarah Dillon. Ball inside to Archibald now. Well, this one is going to drop dangerously on the edge of the square. And a chance! Well saved by Lauren Fitzpatrick. It was Ciara Blundell who tried to direct a goal, whereas did that, but it just didn't have the required power to go past Lauren Fitzpatrick. And then there looks to have been an infringement. Gus Chapman was just noting down something in the book there. Substitution now takes place. Niamh Hayes is in for Tipperary for the closing stages here. And it's Edith Carroll who's being withdrawn. So 12 minutes almost gone now in this match. 11 points to 6 in favour of Westmeath, as both of these sides look to retain their position in Division 1 of the National League. Some pressure being applied on Roisin Daly. She goes back to Fitzpatrick again. And now Tip trying to work it out through the hands. There's Carrie Davey, the substitute, getting on possession. Then Maria Curley fouled inside her own 45-metre line. Looking up here for a pass forward. Has to go sideways instead as far as the midfielder Anna Rose Kennedy. Kennedy loves to run with the ball in hand, making some good ground here. Goes round a couple of challenges and then goes with the high foot pass into space on the right hand side. Two Tipperary players lurking over there. It's well won by the substitute Niamh Hayes, and Hayes going forward, and now a goal chance for Tip. Can they apply the finish? They certainly can. It's the full forward Roisin Howard who gets on the end of the move. Good work in the build up from Niamh Hayes, and Howard hits the net. What a big score that might be. Roisin Howard with the goal closes the gap to 2 now. 1-6 to 11 points in favour of Westmeath, but they led by 7 at the break, remember. All of a sudden the gap is just 2. Player down injured as well, Emma Kelly. And you just feel Sean Finnegan and the Westmeath backroom team now would just love to get the players in for the water break as soon as possible, just to reset here and regain control of this match that they dominated for so long in the first period. They kicked 7 points on the bounce before half time, remember. It was 3 points apiece just shortly before the first half water break, but then 7 in a row from Westmeath. But now it's all Tipperary here. Maria Curley has really come into things around the middle, coming on to possession again. That's gone out over the sideline though. And Roisin Howard's goal has ignited this Tipperary comeback. Ball forward into the middle. Superb take by Lucy Spillane. Now Roisin Daly cuts inside a challenger two, off to O'Dwyer, who inspired this comeback, starting off with 3 points on the bounce. Here come Tip again. O'Dwyer might find another score. Forced out, back out around. Good defending from Westmeath initially. Elaine Fitzpatrick infield to Howard, has support off the shoulder, eventually dishes it off as well. It's opening up again for Tipperary, and another goal chance for Tip. Can they find it? They certainly can. It's Angela McGuigan getting on the end of the move. 2 goals in the space of a minute for Tipperary, and they move in front here. Well, this game has turned on its head. Tip leading by 2-6 now to 11 points as the players trot in for the second half water break. Well, what a 15 minutes or so that has been for Declan Carr's side. Tipperary a point in front, and certainly with the momentum, the water break probably coming from at the wrong time from their point of view. But they scored 2-3 to Westmeath's single point in that 15 minutes. And it's Tip leading by a point, 2-6 to 11 points now, as we all gather our breaths after a frantic 15 minutes. Goals coming from Roisin Howard and Angela McGuigan. And Tipperary now narrowly in front, but you feel there won't be much in this game, whatever way it goes at the full-time whistle. So much to play for, of course, in terms of retaining Division 1 status. But at the moment, Tipper, the team that will stay up, they lead by a point. Gus Chapman just letting them know that 50 seconds gone at the water break, keeping the time pretty tight. Cracking game this has been here in Banagher in County Offaly. Hope you're enjoying wherever you're watching from in the world today. Going to be a substitution on the Westmeath team as well. Lucy Power, who was listed to start. There was a couple of late changes on that Westmeath team, but looks like Lucy Power is in. As we resume with a kick out from Westmeath. Well, we're in for an interesting final quarter here. Tipperary just looking to press up on this kick out as Westmeath get things back underway. Joanna Marr does well. Good run from a wide area from Tracy Dillon, but then Tip intervene in the middle. Vicky Carr has won it for Westmeath. They need a score badly, Westmeath here. They've only kicked one since half-time. That was from the boot of Lucy McCartan. Joanna Marr making some great ground. Marr has done brilliantly along this right-hand side. Now goes forward inside that 45-metre line, inside to Archibald. Good spin from the centre-half forward across to that left-hand side now as far as Lucy McCartan. Off to Archibald again. Can they find the score, Westmeath? Well, lots of tip bodies between ball and goal now. Great ball inside from Archibald, and now a goal opportunity for Westmeath. Wonderful save from Laura Fitzpatrick. Well, the chance fell the way of Lucy McCartan after a superb ball through from Leona Archibald. Well, what a passage of play that was. But it all finished off with a wonderful save. Out behind for a 45 is the end result. And Westmeath still with the ball in an attacking position, but what a big score a goal would have been at that point for Westmeath. Good build-up play too from Joanna Marr on this right-hand side, who took off. The play continues with the ball back in play, and Westmeath coming forward once again. Good tackle on the full forward. Karen Hegarty is in, then a shot from a tight angle. That would be a superb kick. It certainly is, from Sarah Dillon on this right-hand side. That's her 4th point of the match, an important one too. Brings Westmeath back on level terms. 12 points for Sean Finnegan's side, 2-6 for Tipperary. The clock says 18 minutes almost gone now in this second half. As Tip goes short with the kick out. Well, nothing between these sides. It's been a rip-roaring encounter. It's been everything we expected it to be. This ball has been coughed up and it's spilled loose inside in that full back line, and Westmeath sense that they can win it back. Joanna Marr goes in on it then, but illegally so, says Gus Chapman. Free out is the end result for Tipperary. Substitute down there ready to come in again for Tip is Courtney Lonergan, ready to come in the next moment or two. Well, it's all very tense now here in Banagher. Tip coming out with possession now. They do well and bring it into the middle of the field with strong running again from Caitlin Kennedy. It's been a feature of this Tip performance. Kennedy and Anna Rose Kennedy as well, carrying the ball very well. Ball forward, unable to control it. Roisin Howard and Lorraine Duncan sweeps it up for Westmeath. Carr out to this right hand side where Spellman gets a touch, and back inside now for Westmeath once again. All square. Westmeath 12 points. Tip 2 goals and 6 as Westmeath coming forward here in search of a lead score. Perhaps it's with Lucy McCartan. McCartan does well. Here come Westmeath again now, surely within shooting range here for Dillon. Kicks that with the right boot, and that's gone in between the posts and over the bar. Well, it's been a superb display from Sarah Dillon so far this afternoon. She's given Westmeath the lead once again. Sarah Dillon with her 5th point of the match. 13 points now for Westmeath, 2 goals and 6 for Tipperary. This game has toed and fro. The momentum has swung one way and then the other. You feel there's another twist or two in a 2 in the final 10 minutes here. Here comes the substitution for Tipperary. Courtney Lonergan is in, coming in place in that forward division, it looks like. And it looks like the goal scorer, Angela McGuigan, who's being withdrawn at this stage, had a good outing, and that goal could turn out to be hugely important. Westmeath are going to make a change too. Annie Dolan, wearing number 20, in onto the field of play. So Annie Dolan is in for Westmeath. Joanna Marr is the player to be called ashore. She had a fine outing too, Joanna Marr. Very involved in general play, kicked 2 points as well. As Tipperary get things back underway, Archibald almost getting in on that one, but it's gathered instead by Laura Dillon. Tip now trailing by a point. Here's Anna Rose Kennedy, has support left and right, goes the direct route and then dishes it off as far as Roisin Daly, just over the head of Courtney Lonergan, but inside again for Tip. They still have possession. O'Dwyer might fancy another shot from here. O'Dwyer, this one's just, well, the umpires have gone for the white flag. Might have just crept inside that post. It was a tight call. The umpires consulted and the ball over the bar. 2-7 out of 13 points. It's all square. Once again, Orla O'Dwyer has kicked 4 points in this second half, 5 in all. What an impact it's been from her on a return from AFLW back into the blue and yellow of Tipperary. Here come Westmeath again, all square in Banagher. You wouldn't bet against a draw at this stage at the end of normal time. Here come Westmeath once again. Sarah Dillon. Archibald again. Goes with a long ball in over the top in search of Annie Dolan. Can she keep this one on the field of play? She certainly can. The substitute back out around to Dillon. Dolan once more might be interested in a shot. Instead it goes into the, that's really well won by the corner forward, and that's outstanding play from Lucy McCartan, because it looked for all the world that Tip had enough bodies back there to win possession back and set themselves on the attack from deep, but instead McCartan got in there to win the ball and win a free for Westmeath, and a very kickable one at that for them to have a go at here. It looks like Anna Jones is going to come forward and kick this one to try and put themselves in front once again. Just under 8 minutes of normal time left to play. A chance for all the players just to get a breather now here ahead of the final stages here. And here's the free being taken and stroked over the bar by Anna Jones. So Westmeath move in front once again. Anna Jones brings their tally to 14 points. Tipperary 13 points, 2 goals and 7. Westmeath are trying to make a change there. It's going to have to wait. Player coming in a moment as the ball goes forward again for Tipperary. Across the field of play. And now Tip approaching on this left-hand side. Inside that 45-metre line. Good intervention again from Westmeath. Well, we spoke in the first half about the very tight nature and impressive nature of their defensive display, and evidence of that there again in the second half. Here's Westmeath coming forward now, looking to build an attack. Winning the loose ball is Tracy Dillon. Played off again to Lucy McCartan. McCartan looking to get away from the challenge of O'Dwyer, does just that, and now it might open up for a chance here. Here's Sarah Dillon with a goal opportunity. This will be a huge score. Well, it's a point in the end. Good score again from Sarah Dillon, who's been superb this afternoon. 15 points now for Westmeath, 2 goals and 7 for Tipperary. Sarah Dillon with 3 second half points to add to her 3 in the first. She's got 6 in all. It's been a really industrious display from the corner forward. She looks to be limping a little bit too, has the strapping on that left knee. So it's Westmeath by 2, 15 points to 2-7. The watch says just under 6 minutes of normal time left to play.
Number 10.
Just some confusion about the number of players on the field now at the moment, I think. As the kick out comes from Tipperary. 2 points behind now. This one is well gathered in the middle of the park by Anna Rose Kennedy, and she's got space in front too. It's opening up here for Tip a little bit. They've got bodies forward. Roisin Howard looking to round the challenge here. Can she get a shot off up to that 21-metre line? Good defending from Westmeath. Back out around to Fitzpatrick. Out into the pocket again to Kennedy, who started off this move. Thought about the shot, instead plays it off to O'Dwyer. Pretty just outside shooting range now, about 35 metres out. Lorraine Duncan with a good challenge to try and win it back for Westmeath, and the ball spills. And a throw ball might be the end result here. Lorraine Duncan did very, very well indeed to apply a strong challenge on the player possession, Ava Fennessy. Throw ball. Gus Chapman decides is the correct and proper procedure here. Orlo Dwyer in there for Tipperary. Cracking game here in Banagher for the neutral. Tense, I'm sure, for supporters of Westmeath and Tipperary tuning in, and the supporters that are here too. Roisin Howard has won it, and now something might happen here. Howard with the shot. Possibilities presenting themselves. Thought about going for the goal. Good block down from Westmeath. It's going to come out for a point opportunity at the end of all that. And it's Niamh Hayes who kicks the score. Niamh Hayes, the substitute, bringing Tipperary's tally to 2 goals and 8 now. And back to within a point. It's finally poised in Banagher. Tipperary 2 goals and 8. Westmeath 15 points. 1 point the margin in favour of Westmeath, but that might change here. There's a goal on here if they can get it into Orlo Dwyer, and acres of space, and O'Dwyer now with the goal opportunity. Good save from the Westmeath goalkeeper Laura McCormack. Well, that could be a crucial intervention at the end of this match, because Westmeath are going up the other end now too in search of a score. It could be a possible 4-point swing here if they can find a score at the other end. And you feel a huge step towards safety in Division 1 if they can find the point. Has that been a foul? It certainly is a foul, according to Gus Chapman on Karen Hegarty. What a passage of play. Great save at one end from Westmeath. Orlo Dwyer has kicked 5 points in this match. Had the chance for the goal. Well saved by Laura McCormack, and then up at the other end Karen Hegarty fouled, and a free in, the end result for Westmeath, and a chance for them to pad this lead out again, make it a bit more comfortable to move on to 16 points. All to play for here, so much on the line in terms of Division 1 football for next season. So important for both of these counties. Both have been in Division 2 in the not too distant past. Westmeath in 2017 coming up from the second tier the year after. Tip doing likewise. Here's the free for Anna Jones. Joanna Mara is going to come back in for Westmeath here for the closing stages. Here's the free kick. That's a great strike under pressure from Anna Jones, and she punches the air. 16 points now, the tally for Westmeath. 2 goals and 8 for Tipperary. The watch says just over 2 minutes of normal time left to play. Joanna Marr is coming back in here. Westmeath want to reintroduce Marr. Just some difficulties down in the line and applying some treatment there, but she will be back in a second. Tipperary have got things back underway. They trail by 2. Ball back at the right end of the field from a Westmeath point of view, but here come Tip now building from the back again. Strong running in the middle of the park from the centre half back. Caitlin Kennedy does well to play it off as far as Elaine Fitzpatrick. Lorraine Duncan is picking up a spot there, just covering some space as a sweeper for Westmeath, but Tipperary coming forward here with real purpose. Here's Roisin Howard, a goal already in this second half. Goes forward to the right hand side. Good collection too from Niamh Hayes along that end line. Back out around to Howard once again, met by 3 jerseys, and then manages to manufacture a free. And a chance again for Tipperary to move back to within a point. What a match this has been. Credit to both sets of players for serving up a tremendous encounter so far, and a lot of water yet to go under the bridge too, you feel. Free in is for Tipperary. It's going to be taken by Ava Fennessy. Taking into that final minute of normal time now, the watch says. Including that water break as Fennessy steps up and kicks that one over the crossbar. Back to a 1-point game again. 2 goals and 9 for Tipperary. That's 15. 16 points for Westmeath. Crucial possession here now for both teams. It's collected by Westmeath on that far side. They go down the line as far as Annie Dolan. Out in front of the challenger Maria Curley to win it. Foot pass down the line, it's a good one. Out in front to win it is Sarah Dillon on that 45-metre line. Forward to Archibald now. That's the player they want in possession. Foot passing has been brilliant so far today, and that's another good one. Can they finish it off here, Westmeath? They certainly can. It's Lucy McCartan who applies the finish and rattles the net. Is that the score that keeps Westmeath in Division 1 for next year? 116 for Westmeath, 2 goals and 9 for Tipperary. Wonderful finish from Lucy McCartan at that near post. Good ball again from Leona Archibald, who's been outstanding in this match. And again, Westmeath take control of this match, and that could be the decisive score, you feel. 116 is 19 points, 2 goals and 9, 15 points. and that's the manager Sean Finnegan. You can hear down on the sideline just shouting at his players to settle things down here. They've struggled in this second half. You'd have to say it was Tipperary who dominated for long stages, inspired by 4 Orlo Dwyer points. Roisin Howard and Angela McGuigan hitting the net as well, but Westmeath have made their move at the right time. Leona Archibald, though, has taken too long, unfortunately, for Westmeath on that occasion to kick that free. And that means Tipperary now have possession. Is there time for one last twist? Well, the watch says we've played almost 31 minutes, including the water break. Gus Chapman from Sligo is our match referee. He's taking a glance at the watch. Free is for Tipperary. Can they muster one last assault? They need a goal, you feel. Free for Tip inside their own half. It's Elaine Fitzpatrick standing on it. Goes infield. Orlo Dwyer. Oh, that's a great hand in. An absolutely brilliant hand in from Anna Jones to win it back for Westmeath. And a long ball sent in here now. And this could really finish it if Karen Hegarty can find the goal. She certainly can. She certainly can. And Karen Hegarty has surely kept Westmeath now in Division 1 football for next year. 2 goals in about 90 seconds for Westmeath. They move on to 2-16. Tipperary 7 points behind now on 2-9, but here they come forward again. They've battled so hard in this match. They're still battling Tipperary. It's Caitlin Kennedy, has had a fine outing wearing number 6 in this game. Carried the ball brilliantly throughout this match. But 2 goals for Westmeath right at the crucial stage of this game. Looks to have finished it off, but we're still playing here in Banagher. It's a card being flashed in the direction of Joanna Marr. She's being sent to the sideline by Gus Chapman. Looks like a yellow. As the free now coming from Tipperary. Well, they need to put this one in around the square and hope that the net is rattled at some point after that. Here the ball spills, and dangerously spills, and the whistle is sounded, and it looks like a square ball is the decision of Gus Chapman, so that allows Westmeath to come away with possession. Still we play here in Banagher. Westmeath leading by 7, 2-16 to 2-9. Superb encounter that has been played at a really high tempo here. A great advertisement for ladies football. This ball down the line to be competed for. Westmeath taking it forward. Ball again at the right end of the field from their point of view. Good work again from Sarah Dillon. Gets away from the clutches of the defender and now going in search of another score. Sarah Dillon, can she find the score? That's just gone to the right and wide, but as they say at this stage, a wide is almost as good as a score for Sarah Dillon, who's had a fine outing at corner forward. 3 points in the second half, 3 in the first 6 in all. She's played a leading role in Westmeath's performance today in racking up that score of 2-16. Kick out from Tipperary. Still we play. Watch says we played 33 minutes in this second half. Tipperary battling hard, full of spirit and endeavour around the middle. Again, Caitlin Kennedy looking to run at Leona Archibald. Does just that and looking for support now going forward. Kennedy needs a hand pass inside. Gets it inside, but then it's to be competed for, and Tipperary do really well to keep a hold of it. Roisin Howard coming forward has been fouled. Free in. You feel there's going to be a card coming there as well for that infringement. And it'll be a free for Elaine Fitzpatrick. I think Gus Chapman wants to have a word with one of the Westmeath players here for the free in. And possibly another yellow card. Remember, Joanna Maurer was yellow carded a couple of moments ago. It is a yellow card as well for Westmeath. Looks like the midfielder Tracy Dillon. Now Tipperary need a goal. Howard goes for goal. It spills in there. Gathered well by Laura McCormick. Still we play here. Tipperary have won it back. They've won the free in actually. And now a chance for a goal. It's sent in. Is that going to be allowed? Well, Gus Chapman is going to bring it back out and take it from the 13-metre line instead. But time now very much against Tipperary here. 2 goals from Westmeath in the closing stages. Lucy McCartan, then Karen Hegarty, eventually wrestling back control of this match in their favour after Tipperary dominated for long stages in this second half. Here comes the free now. Surely the last action, or close to the last action here in Banagher. It's sent in. Good effort as well from Caitlin Kennedy, but it's over the bar. And there goes the full-time whistle, and Westmeath have retained their status as a Division 1 team. They've beaten Tipperary today by 2-16 to 2-10 in an absolutely cracking Division 1 playoff. Well, both teams contributing to that. It was Westmeath leading by 10 points to 3 at half time, but then 4 second half points from Orla O'Dwyer helping inspire Tipperary into a comeback, and in fact they hit the front through 2 goals, Roisin Howard and Angela McGuigan, in the space of a minute just before the water break in the second half, putting them 2-6 to 11 in front. And from there, well, Westmeath, in fairness to them, responded well, and 2 late goals from Lucy McCartan and Karen Hegarty eventually confirming their superiority and their place in Division 1 for next year. Thank you for joining us today. Thanks to everyone for helping with today's broadcast from Banagher in County Offaly, as well as we leave you with a full-time score from the Lidl Ladies National Football League Division 1 relegation playoff. It's finished. Westmeath 2-16, Tipperary 2-10.